May 31st, 1916, the North Sea churns under gray skies as the largest naval armada in human history prepares for battle. 50 warships stretch across the horizon. HMS Lion leads Britain's Grand Fleet, while SMS Lützow spearheads Germany's High Seas Fleet. Jutland is about to become the bloodiest naval clash of the Great War. But let's change one thing. Slicing through the swells at impossible speed appears something that shouldn't exist for another century. USS Zumwalt, a 15,000-ton stealth destroyer from 2016, armed with guided missiles that can think faster than human reflexes and sensors that see through fog, darkness, and time itself. So what happens when the most advanced warship ever built materializes in the middle of history's greatest battleship duel? Can cutting-edge technology rewrite the outcome of World War I's most decisive naval battle? Or will sheer numbers and iron determination prove that sometimes the past fights back? This isn't your great-grandfather's tin can destroyer. The USS Zumwalt looks like it was designed by aliens who really hate enemy radar. Its angular tumble-home hull gives it the radar signature of a fishing boat despite being 610 feet of pure technological terror wrapped in stealth coating. Here's what this floating supercomputer brings to 1916. 80 vertical launch system cells loaded with enough precision-guided munitions to delete entire fleets from existence. We're talking RIM-162 evolved Sea Sparrow missiles that can swat aircraft out of the sky before pilots even know they're under attack. SM-2 surface-to-air missiles with a range of 100-plus miles. And Tomahawk cruise missiles that can navigate around islands, through valleys, and arrive exactly where admirals don't want them to. Each missile thinks thousands of times faster than any human brain and never misses its target. But wait, there's more. Two 150 km advanced gun systems that were designed to fire precision rounds 80-plus miles inland. Unfortunately, those miracle shells cost more than a Rolls-Royce each, so they got canceled. The guns are basically expensive paperweights. Whoops. The ship's brain is an AN-SPY-6 radar array that can track hundreds of targets simultaneously while calculating the exact moment each enemy shell will splash harmlessly into the ocean. It sees everything, tracks everything, and can guide weapons to hit a golf ball traveling at supersonic speeds. Powered by 78 megawatts of electrical generation, enough to light up entire cities, this beast cruises at 30-plus knots while making less noise than a whisper. In 1916, it's essentially a time-traveling war machine operated by technological wizards. But even this floating doomsday device faces a challenge because Admiral Jellicoe and Admiral Scheer aren't messing around. They brought the crown jewels of early 20th century naval warfare. HMS Iron Duke leads Britain's Grand Fleet with 28 dreadnought battleships bristling with 12 and 15-inch guns. Each battleship displaces over 20,000 tons and carries armor thick enough to stop express trains. Supporting them are battle cruisers like HMS Lion, fast enough to chase down cruisers, but armed like battleships. Germany answers with SMS Friedrich der Grosse, leading 16 dreadnoughts of their own. These steel fortresses mount 11 and 12-inch guns that can hurl shells the size of small cars over 12 miles. Their Krupp steel armor represents the pinnacle of metallurgical science, designed to shrug off direct hits from the largest guns afloat. These aren't museum pieces. They're the most advanced weapons platforms of their era, crewed by professional sailors who've trained for this exact moment. British gunners pride themselves on rapid, accurate fire, while German engineering focuses on survivability and hitting power. Both fleets carry torpedoes that can sink any ship with a single hit, and their destroyers dance through shell splashes like deadly water bugs, seeking the perfect angle for a killing blow. Here's the thing, though. These magnificent dreadnoughts fight like it's 1916. Probably because it is 1916. We're talking visual spotting through periscopes, primitive fire control computers that require manual calculations, and communication by signal flags and Morse code. Their longest range weapons reach maybe 15 miles on a perfect day with ideal conditions. The Zumwalt can kill them from the next time zone while remaining completely invisible to their most advanced sensors. At 14:30 hours, HMS Galatea spots German light cruisers and signals contact. The opening moves of Jutland begin as both battle fleets steam toward their destiny. 100 miles away, the Zumwalt's AN/SPY-6 radar array lights up every vessel like Christmas trees, tracking their speed, course, and probable intentions, while the ship's combat systems calculate firing solutions that won't be needed for another 2 hours. The British battle cruisers under Admiral Beatty race south to intercept when they believe are German scouts. HMS Lion, Princess Royal, and Queen Mary thunder through the North Sea at 25 knots. Their massive guns train forward, hunting for glory. They have no idea they're being watched by sensors that can count the rivets on their hulls from beyond the horizon. The Zumwalt's crew observes this opening dance like gods watching mortals, tracking every movement with digital precision while remaining completely undetected. At 15:48 hours, the battle cruisers engage. Hipper's German ships open fire at 18,500 yards, their 11 and 12-inch guns roaring across the gray waters. British shells bracket the German line as both forces close rapidly, trading devastating salvos. This is exactly the kind of slugfest these ships were built for. Close range, brutal, and decisive. The Zumwalt could end this entire engagement with a single tomahawk salvo, but something remarkable happens instead. The destroyer's automated threat assessment system identifies HMS Indefatigable as she takes a catastrophic hit amidships. Her magazines detonate in a pillar of flame that reaches towards the clouds. Over 1,000 sailors vanish in seconds. The Zumwalt's computers process this tragedy with cold efficiency. But her human crew watches in horror as brave men die fighting with obsolete weapons against obsolete tactics. Then Queen Mary suffers the same fate. Another magazine explosion, another 1,000 lives snuffed out instantly. Admiral Beatty famously remarks that there seems to be something wrong with their bloody ships today. The psychological impact on the Zumwalt's crew is immediate. They're watching a slaughter that they could prevent with weapons. These 1916 warriors can't even comprehend. But intervention means changing history itself. Every missile fired, every life saved or taken, ripples forward through time in ways no computer can calculate. The destroyer holds fire, becoming a silent witness to courage and catastrophe on an industrial scale. As the battle cruiser action rages, Jellicoe's Grand Fleet deploys from cruising formation into battle line. 28 dreadnoughts wheel into position like steel leviathans, their combined firepower representing the accumulated naval might of the British Empire. Meanwhile, Shear's High Seas Fleet steams north, unaware they're sailing into the jaws of the largest trap in naval history. The Zumwalt tracks both massive formations with surgical precision, watching as 200,000 tons of armored steel converge for the ultimate test of big-gun naval warfare. The German fleet appears on the horizon like a dark smudge against the evening sky. Rangefinders strain to measure distances as both battle lines prepare for the climactic engagement. The Zumwalt positions itself perfectly to observe what happens next, its stealth systems rendering it invisible to both fleets, while its sensors record every detail of this historic moment. At 18:15 hours, the main fleets engage. The thunder of 150 heavy guns splits the air as shells the size of telephone poles streak across 12 miles of churning ocean. Geysers of seawater tower 300 feet high as near misses bracket the battle lines. Direct hits send armor fragments spinning like deadly confetti, while blast concussions shatter windows and eardrums. This is industrial warfare at its most primitive and terrifying, raw tonnage and human courage deciding the fate of empires. The Zumwalt's crew realizes they're witnessing something that will never happen again. The last great clash of battle fleets, where admirals maneuver like chess masters and sailors die like heroes in a contest that belongs to another age entirely. When the smoke finally clears over the North Sea, the Battle of Jutland ends much as history recorded. Scheer's high seas fleet retreats to port, never again to challenge British naval supremacy. Jellicoe maintains control of the seas, though at a terrible cost in ships and lives. The Zumwalt slips away into the mist, its mission complete and its secrets intact. But here's what's truly remarkable. Even with weapons that could vaporize entire battle fleets, even with sensors that see through time itself, the destroyer couldn't change what really mattered at Jutland: the courage of sailors facing death with obsolete guns, the tactical genius of admirals maneuvering massive fleets like chess pieces, the industrial might of empires willing to sacrifice treasure and blood for control of the seas. Technology can multiply human capability, but it can't replace human will. The dreadnoughts of 1916 weren't just machines. They were symbols of national pride, crewed by men who believed their cause was worth dying for. No amount of advanced weaponry can replicate that kind of determination. So what do you think? Would modern technology really change the outcome? Or do some things transcend the tools we use to fight? And if you're curious about what would happen if a modern submarine faced the Spanish Armada, check out this video. Thanks for watching.